Hello, everyone. We are live again for Sunday series 8 p.m. CST. Today we have author Dawn Airhart Witte with us. And this is not the first time author Dawn is joining our live show. She has joined me before for a live show 10 months ago. 10 months ago, she first joined my live show and we spoke about her book and the work she does. And she is really an amazing person, and it's a pleasure to actually have her again in this show and to talk about the impact our words can have on someone. So a little bit about author Dawn Airhart Witte. She's an entrepreneur, she's an author, she's an international speaker, and also a philanthropist who has a mission, which is to inspire people around the world to find their purpose and to live it. So she is a certified life coach and the founder of the Desire to Inspire Foundation, a non-profit organization that connects with communities around the world to break cycles of extreme poverty. Dawn has also penned several books, including Be, which imparts an important message about perseverance, purpose, and putting kindness out into the world. So we are going to specifically talk about her book Be and the impact our words can have on someone else. So it is actually very much connected to her book. So without further ado, let's welcome the gorgeous author Dawn Airhart Witte to our show. I'm so happy to actually be speaking to her again. Hello, Dawn. Hello, Dawn. Thank you for joining my show on a very short notice. And actually, I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you, and I was thinking like, no, I don't really have anybody lined up for my Sunday show. And especially probably it's also because of July the 4th. And, it's just celebration going on in the States, especially. So I thought of like just giving a try and just reaching out to you because, speaking to you the last time was really, really, really amazing. And it really made my day, talking to you and the snippets that we have, like we made from the long interview last time. It was so good that I had to make sure that I make snippets out of the entire show, and it was really really good. A lot of people actually enjoyed your energy. A lot of people, I know, the moment they see you on screen and they hear you speaking, I got to see a lot of comments coming on, right? So it was really amazing to see that, right? So this time round, I hope that we will also be able to talk about, the important things, especially also about your book. And yeah, and here you are again. I think you just lost the connection to your camera, right?
For a moment,
So
but I'm back.
yes, for a moment you, but yeah, we have you again here. So this time round, so let's talk about your book B, right? So the other round, the first round of interview with you, we spoke about the other book that you have, right? So this time round, we will speak about B, right? And also the importance our words carry, on a daily life. And that I think that is the whole gist of your book anyway. I mean, and B, right? So, and especially during this pandemic, right? So, before that, Dawn, could you actually briefly introduce yourself to the audience? I mean, I know I have actually explained a little bit about yourself, but I think it would be good to hear from you where you're from and what you do. And yeah, it's all is yours. Dawn.
Well, I thank you for all of that wonderful thing, all those wonderful things you said about me. I don't know what I can say other than that. I will say that Wait, I think I need to turn my volume down a little bit. Um, my favorite role, favorite title is that of being a mom. You know, I think that was my greatest education. It's why I still exist in the world, and it's why I do the things I do in the world, because I love being a mom so much that any child who doesn't have a mother, I want to I'm a mother who doesn't have children that I'm raising. So, like, I have that love. I want to share that love with those children. So that's why I do what I do. And at the end of the day, why I do everything I do is I want people to live their happiest and most fulfilling lives, especially the children, but like everybody. And I feel like there are things that we've learned in our lifetime that have kind of kept us from living that amazing life that children like kind of know. You know, they're living in the dream state. Like they want to like be astronauts and they want to be presidents and they want to be anything. There's no box that they put themselves in. And as we start getting older, we start putting ourselves in these boxes like, oh, we can't do that. Or that's not accessible to us, you know, no matter what our circumstances. Like, oh, we could never lift the continent of Africa because nobody's ever done it before. You know, so I want to break people out of the box of saying just because it's never been done before doesn't mean that you can't do it. And if it's been put upon your heart and put upon your soul, then you know what? There's a reason for that. And I want to help people like believe in those dreams because those are the dreams. You know, before we were ever able to fly, if somebody told the Wright brothers that no, that can't happen, then you know they could have given up. But because they didn't give up, now we can fly all over the world. So, you know, I want to believe in people's dreams because even though their dreams may seem like ridiculous to you, it doesn't mean they're impossible.
Yeah, exactly. So I got that the exact
Christina, I can't hear you.
you know sorry, can you hear me? All right, I will try.
Mute.
Hello. Oh, I'm muted. No, I don't think I'm muted. Let me just try.
Cam.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Audio.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I think it must be on your end because it was working fine earlier, right? Yeah. So probably like maybe you're having some connection issue. You're having some. Yeah. Yeah. So I think Author Dawn is just having some technical difficulties at the end. So she has actually logged out a little bit, but she will be back again. So she's going to join us again. Yes, she is here. Yes, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
What?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Right. Okay. Yes. So I was saying that I got this message from your live stream, the live stream that I did with you the first time. You were also saying that you have a lot of this desire to nurture children, to share your love with children, even though your children have all grown up. You mentioned that your daughters are all grown up and they are like 32 right now. I'm 32. I remember speaking to you about that. Um, Now, that is actually a very interesting point. got from you, because I feel that a lot of mothers out there who still have that desire to nurture something, right? Even though their kids have actually outgrown them, they have their own lives, they have their own families, right? So, what made you think that you that is a possibility for you to channel your energy, channel your passion this way, and not just like being focused on probably raising your grandchildren or just looking after. I think a lot of people would just opt for that way, right? So, what do you have to say to mothers, especially to ladies out there who still want to do this thing, in their life, throughout their lives, you know? How did that idea actually spark in your mind?
I mean, there are so many children in this world who would have a loving presence in their life that they don't have. Whether it's because their parents are deceased and they no longer exist, or their parent is got drug. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to like find a good medium here. Uh, their parents have addictions, or they're not in the house or whatever. I have volunteered my whole life. I volunteered in the school
Mm-hmm.
system and AYSO and PTA and all of the things because I always loved children. Like that's always been a focus of mine. And when my girls were growing up, I was a part of the Big Brother, Big Sister program. I had a little sister who I love to this day. I love her tremendously. She was 7 and she's now, I don't know, 18, 19. Like, I don't even want to know that I'm that old. I worked in the Court Appointed Special Advocate program called CASA for the kids in the foster care system in Los Angeles, which is the largest foster care system in the country. And as I love these children, I love them. I love them, my heart and my soul. But when I was like figuring out what my next steps were in the world, and I'm sorry about the light, it's like, it's that time of day. I just saw that there were children literally struggling for clean water in this world, and they're struggling for food on a daily basis. And my heart has always been called to Africa. When I was a little girl, it was always like a calling, and I had to go to that calling. But I say, like any mother who's going through that place where she feels like that sense of loss, because I felt it, and I have friends who have told me the same thing. And I had a friend who told me like she feels like she got retired from her job that she never wanted to retire from. And I feel that like from my heart and my soul. And it's like, you know what? But that love that you have, that nurturing spirit that you have, not everybody has it. Even if you're a mother, you don't always have that yearning and calling to do that. But if that's your calling, find a child who needs that love in their life. Find a child who doesn't have that mother, because I assure you, there are thousands of children who would love what you have to give. So, don't think that your journey is ended or you're done just because your children are like grown and out doing their adult thing, which thank you, like job well done. We did a good job that our children are out doing and being and growing. But that yearning that's still within us, there are children that want what we have to offer. So don't think that like your journey is done. Like go find those children. They exist. And don't think that your job is done. I mean, if that is that call to your soul, go do that call to your soul, whatever that is. And I speak to the mother part because that's the call to my soul, and I can speak to that very profoundly. But whatever that is, keep going in the path that's calling to your soul, and that's your path.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right. Awesome. That is definitely something that a lot of mothers out there they need to do, because I think they just get lost, after their children all grown up, and they just do not know where else to channel their um, desires, the desire within them to continue their calling, right? I mean, to continue what they are meant to do in this life. So I think that is one thing that I really, really admired in you, because when you said that you wanted to channel the love that you have for children, in other ways, not just focusing on your own kids, but in in other ways, right? So Dawn, I mean, when we last spoke, it was, I think, August, September-ish kind of a thing last year, I think. We were in the midst of pandemic, and today we are still in the midst of pandemic. So, talk about your foundation, the Desire to Inspire Foundation, and how has it been going for you? I mean, especially the kids, the underprivileged kids, and the world that we're living in right now can be really, really painful, especially when a lot of kids have actually lost their parents, either both their parents or one of the parents, right? So that can be really difficult for especially when you look at countries like India, right? So, what are the things that you're seeing in your foundation, and how is it going right now for you?
Well, I mean, like with everybody, the pandemic kind of shut down the whole world. So I don't think my situation is more unique than anybody else's. But, we had been working on a lot of plans. We were planning a trip to Africa last September, so clearly
Mhm.
that didn't happen. And, so we were planning days of purpose. We were going to be getting together and gathering people in many different
Yeah.
countries, and
Mhm.
with the pandemic, we couldn't do it anymore. And so, like,
Mhm.
I had to pivot. I had to say, like, okay, now what do we do? We've been spending the last year, like, planning all of this stuff, and now none of it can happen. Um,
Mhm.
I think it's kind of one of those lessons of life where it's like, my friend always used to say, when we plan, God laughs. And I just think, what, this was like the most
Ah,
stark, like, example of
yeah.
that.
Mhm.
So, this is just a personal thing. I do know that other foundations or other nonprofits have had a very difficult time because everybody's been
Mhm.
having a difficult time.
Mhm.
But I will say that I put my focus on turning it into a business. So I
Mhm.
launched my VLine Products website so I could sell some products for people to raise the money that I wanted to do instead of asking for donations. And again, I think donations
Yeah.
are wonderful. When you give from your heart and you want to support a cause, that's amazing. But for me, I wanted to create some products for people so that they
Mhm.
could buy an amazing product, buy a product that like uplifted them, and also be supporting the cause. So I kind of shifted into making that website like happen and be viable. And that came about in November. I think we launched.
Mhm.
And we just are launching our skincare line that we're adding to this site, which is an amazing skincare line. And I'm not just saying that because it's mine. I'm saying it because
Ah,
I'm a woman and moisturizing. I'm 53, yeah, almost 53. So I'm like, I need moisturizers. I need like things. And so I've been looking for products, and in my own journey, I found these amazing ingredients in Africa. And so I wanted to bring that
mm,
to people here and have them like experience these amazing products that aren't like readily available here on the marketplace normally. And some of the products, a
mm,
lot of the products that we use are, they've got all kinds of chemicals and all kinds of like things in it. And, I didn't realize until a few years ago that, everything we put on our skin gets absorbed into our bodies. And so I started
mm,
getting a little bit more cognizant of what it was that I was putting on my skin. And so it like put me
mm,
down this path of trying to find like something that worked, that was like amazing, but was also really good for us. And,
mm,
also uplifting Africa and doing the work I want to do. And eventually, what I would love to do is have this done on the ground in Africa. Right now, not at that
mm,
point yet, but it's part of the dream, and I know it's going to happen. But so we're launching that like within the next week. So I spent my time, focusing on that. But again, I understand like the donations are harder to come by because, donations are hard to come by to begin with. And they're harder to come by
Mm,
in a pandemic when people can't work and they can't like do their jobs. And, so
mhm,
it's been like a challenging time for everyone. And so I just tried to pivot and try to see like a different way of making it all work.
mhm, mhm, mhm. Right. So I think I got the website
You did.
up on screen, and that is VLine Products. So the VLineProducts.com, and so talk about the accessibility of um, helping people in different parts of the world, and especially you have always been connected to Africa, kids in Africa, and right now in the times where we cannot travel anymore, we can't really travel as much as we used to travel in the past. How is the philanthropy's work is being monitored or being continued amidst this pandemic in Africa? Even if you can't travel, like how is it going right now for the people in Africa? How are they actually dealing with it with pandemic?
I mean, in different places, it is different levels of discomfort and discord. I mean, I know Uganda just went back into lockdown. Namibia just went back into lockdown. Um, they're in their winter, and so they're seeing like all kinds of things. I am praying for everybody. It has been a very huge challenge. It already was a challenging situation, and then COVID happened, and that challenging situation just like triple,
Mm-hmm.
double, like quadrupled. And so, yeah, it's been a challenge on every single level, on every single front. But I'm still trying to the best of my ability to meet the basic needs and to make sure they have food and they have water, and if
Mm-hmm.
somebody's sick, that they get taken care of. So again, these are my children. These are children I love. The
Mm-hmm.
depth of my soul. So I'm never going to walk away from them. So I'm going to make sure
Mm-hmm.
that whatever I need to do, they're going to be okay. What I would love to do is grow it and reach out to all the people that message me. I get messages every day from people all over the world that I do not know. And I would love, like, if I could, I would help every single one of them. I can't stand the thought of anybody suffering anywhere, but limited resources only allow me to do what I can do. But my children that I know, that I've visited multiple times and I've hugged and I've helped get ready for school, these children, I need to make sure they're okay. And so I'm going to make a way, and I have been making a way. And also, just putting my focus on the Beeline product website, exchanging, I believe in the universal law of reciprocity, which is like you give, you receive, it's kind of karma. So you reap what you sow. It's like, you know, I want to give somebody something and thank you for supporting our mission, whether it's a t-shirt that you buy or a skincare product or, a pillow or, I've got my pillows over here. I don't know if you can see them, but, I've all these pictures from my friend Davis, who lives in Kenya, who's
Mm-hmm.
an amazing photographer. Like all these things, I want to share them and raise the money to do the work that we want to do. So for me, it's an equal exchange. So I've been focusing a lot on that and not asking a lot for donations, not putting that out there, because I understand this is a hard time for humanity. And, I'm just praying for the world right now because I think we're in a really
Yes,
time.
we
It's
are
like
all. I think we are all caught up in this whirlwind of the
here.
pandemic, and it is just never ending. And we are all just wanting to get out of it, and that's where you learn that we have different variants coming in, and and you start worrying if the vaccines that you have will be effective enough to combat the mutant variants. And yeah, so I think we are all constantly being caught in this anxiety, and what's going to happen next in the world, right? So in the world that we are living in right now, yeah, coming to the power of words, right? The power of words, the words that we speak, that can have on people. So and also your book, right? B. So tell us about that, and also people who actually buy your book. The proceeds will go to the organization, right? Correct me if I'm wrong.
A
The
portion,
development.
a portion. Yeah. Yeah. I've got
Yeah,
dogs
a
to feed.
portion
So
of it will be going.
yeah, but a portion of my proceeds
Correct.
go to the foundation.
Correct. A portion of your proceeds is going to the Desire to Inspire organization. So tell us about the book, and why did you write it? Because the last time when we speak about your book, we spoke about, um, if I'm not mistaken, we spoke about Recipes of Being, The Power of Seven, and that was the book that you wrote with several other authors, around the world, and you just get connected online. You told me that, the people just somehow rather got connected to you and wrote the book. So for B right now, where did you get the idea to write the book, and especially the power of words, right?
Yeah, well, I love that question. Thank you for asking. So I read something many years ago, and it was a father who wrote like 4 or 5 different things that he wants his daughters to know if he's ever not here. You know, and I read that, and that really like hit my soul, because I was like, if I'm no longer here, what are the things that I want to make sure my daughters understand about this world? And, so I wrote a bunch of quotes, and I asked some friends for some quotes about, what advice would you give to your kids and things like that. And I, I was trying to categorize that and try to like figure it out. Like, how do I like present that? And I thought, well, there's the 7 deadly sins. We've heard about the 7 deadly sins.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things I feel very strongly about is, instead of telling people what not to be, I want to inspire people to be their best selves. So my book is about 7 words that I think if we all chose to be in the world, we would live our happiest, most fulfilling lives. So I chose 7 words
Mm-hmm.
that I thought that these are the words that I hold most dear to me. And um, and I wrote it essentially for my daughters, because if I'm no longer here, they pretty much know who I am, but just, there are certain things that I want them to understand about the world, and that love and kindness, like at the end of the day, love, kindness, gratitude, being genuine, being strong, being inspired, being happy, those are all things that if we are very cognizant of and aware of in our life, like, we can live our greatest lives. I want them to look at that and not look at like any of the negative and any of the icky, because there's always the negative and icky that happens in our lives. There's always going to be loss. That is part of life. There's always going to be some
Mm-hmm.
struggle. I look at my children in Africa, and the struggles they have are so profound.
Mm-hmm.
So, any of the struggles I've ever had in my life, these are just challenges. They're just like little challenges.
Mm-hmm.
They're not struggles. And I want to share that message with the world. When we think we're having a nightmare day, or the world's so terrible because somebody cuts off in traffic, or, something very insignificant at the end of the day, when you're able to remove yourself and say, I have food, I have water, I am so blessed. This is just like a little annoyance in my life, and I don't have to react to it. I can just say, you know what, I bless you, and whatever. That's kind of that mindset shift I want my girls to have, and I want everybody to feel, because life is hard for every one of us. It is. You know, I want us to like focus on the things that bring us joy, that bring us happiness, that we have, like the fact that we woke up this morning and that we have breath in our
Mm,
body. That is gratitude right there. No matter what else is happening in your life. I want to
mm,
share those messages with people because it really, when I started having that like cognizant thought in my head instead of just like, you know, going through all the motions and going through the day, when I really got grounded in gratitude and love, that's when my life like changed and opened, and you know, there's no limit to it now.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Right. And you also have a journal, right? A coloring journal planner that celebrates life, living with purpose. So this actually comes from the book itself, right?
It was created from the book. That was the spark, and this is the
Mm,
first edition. We have a second edition out. I have it right here, and it's even
mm,
more fabulous than that one. It's got coloring. It's
mm,
color pages, and
mm,
there's colored pages in it, and like all kinds of
mm,
amazing things. We're really proud of this. Deborah Louise Brown is my co-author, my editor, my friend. I call her my mother, my
mm,
sister, my friend. She is an amazing human, and we took that, what we produced, it was 2 years ago maybe, and we just like revamped it. We added some new stuff, and it literally helps you like sit there and just kind of journal your own dreams, your own hopes, and kind of like lets you tap into the things that spark you to life, that bring you joy, that bring you the greatest happiness, so that you can too start looking at life the way I changed, the way I was being, into a way that I was living my greatest self. Like I was doing work in the world that I
mm,
love to be doing. I want to help other people get to that place because I know the transformation that has made my life. And I want to help everybody have that same kind of like, oh, this is amazing.
yeah, yeah, right. And so speaking about the book that you actually wrote for your daughters, right? So have they actually read the book, and what do they think about the book, right, as a whole? I mean, I know that you wanted to leave the message to them specifically, right?
Well, you know what? One of the greatest gifts that came out of writing that book is I asked my daughters to write the introduction. And so
Mm.
my daughters wrote the introduction to that book, and I got to read what, how they saw me, you know, because I get the eye rolls and like, oh, mom, you know, woo woo, and you know, I get all that. But when I read that, that was the greatest gift I could have ever received from writing this book. If I sold no
Mhm.
copies, just getting to read what my daughters, how my daughters saw me, you know. So my daughters have read the book. My daughters, they know how I am. Oh my goodness, this light.
Mhm.
I'm so sorry. I can't even get into a place.
Yes.
Um, but so my daughters are so supportive of what I do. They've helped me. My older daughter Taylor, she edits everything I do. I always like give her my writing, and I'm like, you know what? Payback for all the time I help you with your homework. Now you're helping with homework. So they're part of everything I do. My younger daughter,
Mhm.
you know, trying to figure out like logistics about the skincare line, and you know, price
Mhm.
points and all that kind of stuff. And that's what she does, and she's helping me with that. My daughters are amazing. They're supportive.
Mhm.
I'm very proud of them, and I'm very like grateful to have like such amazing children in my life. So yes,
Mhm.
they think that their mom's crazy. They know their mom's crazy. They've always said this. They will
Mhm.
always say this, but they understand my crazy is a good crazy, and I think they like it. I think they like it. You'll have to ask them though.
Right. Uh-huh. Right. So this is the your the VLine products, right? So we are
Mhm.
viewing that. And so this is where people can actually go and browse through the products, and we have like and sign up for the newsletter as well. So you have like various products displayed out here, not just skincare, I believe, right? So Pillows, yeah, the pillows that you mentioned, the mugs. So this is actually like sort of like an extension to your the organization that you have, right? So we have like I think we have like several categories over here: women clothing, men's clothing, kids clothing, accessories, fragrance, and also calendar, right? So you also mentioned about the skincare product, right? So is the skincare product also displayed over here, or is it going to be like in in any other websites?
Well, I literally just received the skincare products on Monday, last Monday. So it's been less than a week. And so we're adding them to the website now. But this has been like a 3 year process. I've been wanting to do this for
Oh,
3 years. And 2 years ago, I was really close to having it like ready to go. And you know what? That didn't work out. And, I could have said, I guess this is just not going to be a thing. And because at the end, when it didn't work out, I didn't know, like, I was at zero. Like, I had no resources to like figure out what to do. And so I thought, well, you know what? Maybe this is just not a thing, but it was so like strong in my soul. I'm like, I'm going to figure out a different way. And this is kind of one of the lessons I needed to learn so I can share this story with others. Sometimes it doesn't look like what we thought it was supposed to look like. And sometimes we're going to have those failures and we're going to have those, not
mm-hmm.
failures, we're going to have those setbacks
Mm-hmm.
and things that could make us give up,
Mm-hmm.
where we say, no, no, this is just too hard. I'm not going to do it. But I was so driven and I was saying, I'm going to make this happen. I'm going to make this happen. And now I literally have these products sitting in my living room, which I need to like change because it looks like a warehouse at my house. But I have them here and we're putting them on the website and they're ready. They're ready to be shipped out to have everybody experience these amazing ingredients. I've been using them for months. I love it. It's literally food for my skin. Like I put it on my face, I put it on my legs, and I'm like, I keep touching it because I'm like, oh, I'm so soft. So I absolutely love it. It's all natural ingredients. And again, I want to do this in Africa, but I don't have the wherewithal yet at this moment to do it. But this is the building block to get me there. So if I
Mm-hmm.
would have given up when it didn't work out, 2 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't be here. But again, I'm very stubborn and I'm determined and I'm driven. And I have my why is so important because these children and these people I know, I need to make sure I do what I need to do to fund the work that I want to do because I want to lift that continent. I want to lift everybody out of poverty. So I was going to figure out a way to make it happen, whether it was easy or it wasn't easy. And sometimes, a lot of times, it's not easy. I'm so sorry at this light. But so I needed to go through the ups and the downs and the hills and the valleys so that I can share that too. Because if it was just easy, we'd all do it. Everybody would just do it. We have to have some setbacks and have that inner drive to say, you know what, I'm not going to settle for not succeeding. I'm going to keep trying. And so it was a good lesson, and I'm thrilled because now I have products. So now I can look back and say that was a challenge, it was a setback, it was a learning lesson, but now I have what I was trying to do. And so it's a very
Mm-hmm.
exciting time.
Right.
It's
Oh,
fun.
um, yes. But I think,
There we go.
yes, I think you, yes, I can see you very clearly. And yeah, so I mean, I think that a lot of people, they sort of like give up, or they sort of like, just do not have that drive in them anymore when, when they go through challenges. So, um, especially during this hard time, right? So, um, how do you think? I mean, how do you think incorporating social work or doing something that is just not just for yourself, but for the betterment of the people out there can actually make your life better, because in this time, we are all like, a lot of businesses are just focused on um, getting profits for themselves, and not really thinking much about giving out to the world and doing something that is meaningful. So especially now during the pandemic, um, how do you think it is important to think about the Mother Earth, to think about the things that we have done in the past, right? The kind of impact that our life has had on the planet Earth, and how we can actually rectify this in the future, how we should actually be more selfless. And yeah, so that, I mean, all these difficult times that we are facing right now, I think, is teaching us a lot of things, and it is giving us a lot of time to reflect on the things that we have done wrong in the past, right? So yeah, I think that, the work that you do and the love that you have for the children is fundamentally is the why, your why, and that is actually driving you to achieve a lot more success in your personal life. So how does these two actually connect to each other? Like, your personal success and also your success in whatever that you do for people out there.
One of the things in life coaching that we teach people is to like tap into their dreams, tap into their hopes, their desires, the things that they love, the skills that they have in life. But one of the questions that we ask is there good in it for others? Because we are not just here for ourselves. I think
Mm-hmm.
ancient civilizations knew this. I look at Africa and I look at Mama
Mm-hmm.
Josephine, for example, this woman
Mm-hmm.
taken in 67 children. And when I come, she treats me like royalty. She like cooks, again, to the best of her ability. But it's never
Mm-hmm.
like, well, if I cook this for her, I'm not going to have food. It is just this generosity of soul and spirit that people who have
Mm-hmm.
little seem to get. Like it just is part of their being. And I think something has like disconnected with the Western world where we are more about
Mm-hmm.
ourselves. And yes, I think that we need to be there for ourselves. We need to take care of ourselves. That is first, that's important. But we have to understand that our
Mm-hmm.
lives aren't here just to live for ourselves. Our lives are here to live for others. We are here for each other. And when you understand that, then every single thing you do, again, if you're a singer or if you're an athlete, your gift, your talent, your skill can actually like
Mm-hmm.
lift somebody else through your singing, your song, and your athleticism. So every single thing we do, let's like understand that there is goodness in it for others. And when we're doing it for ourselves and for the world, our gift, our talent that we get to share with others, then that's how we expand that and we elevate others and we lift the world. But if we're just doing it for ourselves, if we're just doing it for fame, we're just doing it for money, you know what? That's not a why. That's not a why. It is a why,
Mm-hmm.
but not a why that's
Mm-hmm.
going to bring you the most satisfaction, and it's not going to add to the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, I definitely agree with that, because I think the more you think that you should strive to achieve success, the more you think that you should strive to earn the money that you want to earn. At the end of the day, when you have actually come to that point, you would just turn back and then think that, so what?
Mm.
Right?
You know what? One of my very favorite quotes, I say it all of the time, and I will sound like a broken record if you've heard any of my other talks. It is by Ralph Waldo Emerson, and it's a longer poem, but at the end of it, it says, "To know that even one life has breathed easier because you've existed, that is to have succeeded." And that is how I
Mm-hmm.
define success. And if that is how I define success, then it's not just about me. It's It is about what legacy do we leave in this world? One day we will no longer be in this physical plane, right? So how do we want people to remember us? You know, do we want lives to have been touched in love? And again, I'm not talking about being famous. I'm talking about like one-on-one. Like, oh, you know what? I met her at the grocery store, you know, or I walked past her on the street, and you know what? She made me feel happy. She told me a joke. She made me laugh. She complimented my shoes. Whatever it is, I don't. It doesn't. It's not about like fame or fortune. It is about literally lifting every life that you come in connection with, and that is the way I define success. And others have defined success that way, and I'm going to continue seeing that as the way I define success, because at the end of my days, you know, I can't take any of this stuff with me. You know, I can't take the cars, the houses, the clothes, I can't take my looks, I can't take any of that. But what I do get is what I left with my children, with my friends, with my family, and with every life I've touched. So that is where I put my focus and my energy on. And I think that that's a good way to look at life.
Exactly. I mean, touching lives like, one at a time as you go. Well, I mean, making a difference in their lives. I think that is really, really an amazing option that we have. But a lot of people do not really see it as an option they have in their day-to-day lives, and they just go about running around like with their routine. But that's where I also think that the power of words come in. How you choose to talk to people, and how you choose to make them feel. Yeah, so these are all the things that reflect our inner self, probably the inner state of ourselves. When we choose to speak good words, I think it reflects what's inside. And likewise, when we are not really in a good state of mind, I think the choice of words that we make, is also going to reflect what's inside. So I think that really makes me think, the power of words that have, the kind of things, the kind of words that we choose to talk to people is really, really powerful. And so talking about your new product line, right? And you said that these products, I mean, especially the beauty products, are actually sourced. A lot of it are sourced from Africa itself. And um, do you think that by giving the people from Africa the opportunity to look at how to better their lives, by just using resources that they have, with them already, do you think that this would give them a positive outlook on life and also on business, and how to actually eradicate poverty in that manner?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things, I think the biggest thing is to let them know that they're not a victim of their circumstance, and that there's a life beyond
Mhm.
what they're living and what they
Mhm.
see right now. And, you know, I want people to dream, whether you're in Africa or you're in the United States or you're in India or wherever you are, dream outside of the box. I think we live so much in boxes. I used to live in the box too. You know, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to go to high school, you're supposed to go to college, you're supposed to, you know, get a job, you're supposed to get married, you're supposed to have kids, like in this order, right? And you know what? That's not how life always goes. And sometimes you have to break outside the box to do something different, to do something extraordinary, to do something amazing. And so I want to impart that message with all of them, because they are
Mhm.
smart and they're beautiful and they're loving and they are industrious and they're hardworking. There's no limit to what they are capable
Mhm.
of doing. It is just opening up some opportunities in their mind, that there is more
Mhm.
beyond the struggle, and then
Mhm.
creating some opportunities where they can step into and, take that talent, use that talent and put it out into the world and help lift others while they're lifting themselves. It is, again, for me, it seems so simple. I know it's not actually a
Mhm.
simple thing, but it is simple when you think about these people have all the resources, they have all the knowledge, they're amazing. There's no limit to what they can do. And so I want to help them break through any of the limits and the boundaries. And even if it comes in with financial help or, whatever kind of help I need to give them to get there, I want them to get to that
Mhm.
place because they're no limit
Mhm.
more limited than anybody else.
Mhm. Right. Right. So, Dawn, we are coming to the end of the show today, and we will, we will talk about your aspiration. Probably you could share about your aspiration for the future. What do you plan to do? And of course, I can see that you've been pivoting a lot, even during this hard time, to make things happen, right? To just keep things rolling. So, what are the plans that you have in the pipeline, and or what are the things that people can actually expect from you in the days to come? So maybe you would like to talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, the life that has been like showing up for me has been like bigger and more bold than I ever even imagined. So I don't even know. But I will say that we were planning, I was with my friend Larita Rice Barnes. She has the Gila Global Impact Leadership Alliance Foundation. We were putting together a volunteer trip in October to go to Uganda
Mhm.
with a prayer retreat and like all kinds of amazing things. I know that Africa, like in Namibia and South Africa and Uganda, they're going back into lockdown because of COVID. So,
Mhm.
I don't know what October is going to bring. So I'm kind of putting that like thumbtacking it up in the wall and saying, I don't know exactly what's going to happen. So maybe not a volunteer trip in October, but that is definitely coming because I would love to share my Africa with everyone.
Mhm.
It is a magical place.
Mhm.
And just stepping on the soil, you feel it in your heart.
Mhm.
And I know you've heard it because I've heard it like my whole life. Like people say, oh my gosh, Africa changed my life. Africa's magical. You
Mhm.
know what? That is indeed
Mhm.
true. And I would love to
Mhm.
share that magic with other people. So that is coming. I don't know if it's October or maybe possibly next year, but we've got some more books. I'm creating a series, online series for moms who are kind of trying to figure out their way of being in the world, because as moms, we're literally like taking care of everybody else and we forget about our own
Yeah.
hopes and dreams and needs and things like that. So I want to help guide them through that because, I was one
Mm.
of the moms and I would have
Right.
loved that support. I've got the skincare line that's going to be on the VLine website. Like it's going to be up there posted within the next week or two. And so, just there's a lot of amazing magic happening. It has been like, wow, just like an amazingness. I look at all the things I'm doing and I'm like, what? But I really am so focused on my why and my purpose. I don't give a lot of time to anything other than that. My daughters are grown.
Mhm.
So, I don't have to parent, I don't have to. It's not that I don't have to. It's just like I'm not needed to parent. And so, I love what I do. So it's my hobby. It's my passion. It's my
Mm.
work. So I just combine it
Mhm.
all and I do it all the time. And I will take some time for me, but I've been building and growing and developing this foundation for a couple of years, and now we've got the foundation. So now I just get to watch it blossom and grow, and it's been amazing.
Awesome, amazing, amazing, Dawn. I mean, every time I speak to you, I get that energy, and not just me, but I love putting the snippets out of the long interview for people to watch. I mean, like hey, people, you got to watch this particular 1 minute kind of a thing, and you just need to listen to what what she's saying, and I just love doing this, and I am so happy that you are here today for today's show, and happy 4th of July. I hope that you've had an amazing day, an amazing celebration. So let's just hope that, the rest of the world will also get access to the vaccines and, just heal. Ultimately, just heal from whatever that we are facing right now. Not just heal, but I think take that lesson that we got from the whole pandemic, and not to repeat the kind of things, the damages that we have been doing, the damages that we have been inflicting, upon the earth, the mother earth. And so yeah, I really, really wish all the best to you for your new product line, and very happy, very excited that you have been getting a lot of creative ideas to get things rolling. And yeah, so I will probably, like, hoping to catch you maybe some other time also to talk to you. And it's always a joy to talk to you, and to get updates from you and things like that. And sending you lots of love from all the way from Malaysia. And so till we meet again, Dawn, take good care of yourself and stay safe. And we will see you again, Dawn. Thank you so much.
I send you so much love. Thank you. It's an honor.
Thank you, Dawn. Thank you. We will see you again.